powerful trading strategy on pocket option. And guess what? No indicators, just pure candlestick direction, analysis, and a sharp eye for timing. Hey everyone, welcome to Trading Pipes. If you've been struggling to find a reliable trading strategy, you're in the right place. Today I'm going to share with you my 5-second trade strategy, the same strategy that helped me achieve a consistent win rate of over 85%. This strategy doesn't rely on complex indicators or overwhelming setup. It is all about understanding candlestick movement and making precise, timely entries. In this video, I'll break down exactly how the strategy works step by step so you can start using it today. Whether you're new to trading or you have been at it for a while, this could change your game. Stay tuned as I show you how to simplify trading, boost your winning rate, and maximize your profit. Let's dive in. And before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another trading tips. Let's go. There is no indicator on this strategy because we are using a 5-second time expiry. It's actually a 5-second trade time, and of course I'm making use of 30-second candle time frame, and also I'm using a regular candlestick. All right, so this strategy only work with OTC market because we are trading 5 seconds. Anything less than 1 minute only works with OTC market. So in today's video, I'll be trading on non OTC market. So over here, I'm going to show you how I've been using this strategy for over 1 year, and it is very powerful. I'm going to show you the best moment to place a trade based on the candle direction. All right, so I want you guys to stay put. Let me put up my currency pair up real quick and then come back and start trading. Okay, over here I've put up the currency pair ups. Another thing I would love to actually make mention before I continue trading is the fact that anytime you're trading this particular strategy, always make sure that you're using minimal balance. As you can see, I have $31,000 right there on my real account. So anytime you're trading less than 1 minute, always make sure that you're using 2-3% of your total balance. All right, because with this strategy it's very easy for you to lose, and at the same time it's very easy for you to win. But on this particular strategy, I guarantee over 80% winning rate if you follow all the rules, the guideline, and how I place my trade on this particular video. All right, so make sure you stay put and understand every details. I'm going to try to explain everything so that you can understand how I enter a trade. So another thing is to make sure that you have this what's it called, candlestick time ticker. To actually activate this, go back to your chart type, and over here you can pretty much enable it under the settings. All right, it's called enable timer. All right, so make sure that this is enabled because you definitely need it. All right, that's the most important setup on this strategy because you're not making use of indicator. We are only making use of this time counter and the candlestick direction. All right, so guys, how do you enter a trade? There are two methods you need to use to enter the trade, which I'm going to explain. The first method is this one right here. All right, I'm going to explain this in detail. Number one thing is to study the first candlestick before you enter your trade on the second candlestick. So for example, I'm going to make use of this candle as my first candlestick that I'm studying. And before you enter a trade, anytime a candlestick expires, as you can see right here, when you see that this particular candlestick expire and it generates this one right here, the next thing to do is for you to wait for like 5 seconds before you place a trade. So for example, after this candlestick expire right here, I'm talking about this candlestick right here, after it expire and generate this one right here, all I'm just going to do is to make sure that I count this, my time counter right here. As you can see, this is actually 7 seconds. So immediately I counted it to like 5 seconds. I'm going to place my trade for a sell because it's still going to a downward direction. All right, and another thing you need to put in mind, I only place my trade when this particular candlestick is also in a strong position. I'm having a full body candlestick before I place the trade. So when I see that after the 5 seconds this particular candlestick become very smallish or in a doji form, I'm not going to enter the trade because there's a very high chance of a reversal in the market. I hope you understand. All right, the first thing is to make sure that the first candlestick that you're studying actually close, generate another one right here. All right, so before you enter the trade, make sure that you actually check your timer, counted it down to 5 seconds before you place the trade. We are only placing a trade when we see that this same candlestick is also in a very strong position going out on a downward direction. I hope you understand. That is the first method. This is the second method that I'm talking about. This second method is also very simple. The most important thing is to have in mind is the fact that we are only placing the trade based on the candlestick direction. As you can see in this position, we have an uptrend. All right, this candlestick is actually giving us an uptrend, but when the candlestick actually closed, it generated a downward direction. So this is the second method I'm talking about. So when this happens, we're still going to enter a sell trade, and the reason why that the candlestick generated after this actually closed, it will reverse back on a downward direction. But the most important thing, make sure that you also take note of your counter. Make sure that you count it to 5 seconds after this newly candlestick generated before you enter a sell trade. Like I said, make sure that before you enter the trade, you're having a full body candlestick, just like what happened right here after the 5 seconds before you enter a trade for a downward. And the same thing applicable if you're going for a buy, if you're going for an up trade. Make sure that you have your first candlestick and the next candlestick is also following an uptrend before you place the trade. But like I said, make sure that you actually work with your time counter. So right now, let's go ahead and start trading so that you can pretty much understand what I'm talking about. Anytime I enter a trade, I'm definitely going to show you the reason why I enter the trade and how you should also enter the trade at your own end. I hope you understand. Okay guys, over here we have less than 6 seconds for this candle to close. So let's wait for the next one. Okay, the next one right there, we have 59, 58, 57, 56, 55. Then I'm going to enter a down trade. All right. Like I said, we only place the trade based on the candlestick direction. As you can see, we're in the money on that. All right. And then before you place the trade, make sure that the candlestick you're placing your trade on is actually in a full direction. Like the candlestick is actually in a full body candlestick, giving you a perfect direction. Do not place the trade when the candlestick become doji or very small. So that's the reason why we are using the 5 seconds to know the perfect direction of the candlestick before we place the trade. A good one there, guys. Let's get another moment. Okay guys, we're having a good moment here too. We have less than 6 seconds to close this particular candlestick. All right, any candlestick generated, then we count 55, 56, 56, 55. Then I placed 2 trade. Is actually a very perfect moment. So that's the reason why I placed a 2 trade on that. You can see we're in the money on that. Another good one. Let's keep checking. Okay, over here we're having another good moment. We have less than 6 seconds for this candlestick to close. So I'm waiting for the next one. Okay, we get the next one there. That's 59, 58, 57, 55. Then I place my trade. All right. Okay, we lost out on that. It happens. You see that in a blink of an eye, the candlestick actually dropped before start going up. Like I said, this strategy is over 80% winning rate. You lose some, and of course, you're going to win many, which is very certain if you follow all the rule, the guideline I laid down. All right, it's very important. Okay, I'm checking this out. It's actually a very strong candlestick on a downward direction. And you can see we still have like 22 seconds to close the trade. So guys, always make sure that the only candlestick you're placing your trade on, make sure that the one you're looking at is very strong. All right, so do not place the trade when the candlestick turned to doji, just like what happened right here. Even though it generated a perfect one, only make sure that you're studying a very strong candlestick that generate the one you're placing your trade on. I hope you understand. So this is not a good one. Let's keep checking. Okay guys, I'll have like 4 seconds for this candlestick to close. All right, the new one generate, and we are in 58, 57, 56, and 55. But you see that nothing is happening right here. The candlestick generated is very small in a doji form, and like I said, we cannot predict the direction of the candlestick. Do not place a trade when you're not having at least a little bit strong candlestick after 5 seconds of generation. I hope you understand. Let's keep checking. Okay guys, over here I'm finding a moment, and we have less than 5 seconds to close this candlestick. Then the next one we have 59, 58, 57, 55 there. Then I place a trade on that real quick. All right, I placed 2 trade of 200 each, and a good one there. Win the money on that, as you can see. I think I'm going to take my last trade. Okay guys, this one just generated newly. As you can see, we have 57 right there, and 56, 55. I'll place a trade on that. Definitely, this is actually a very strong uptrend, and you can see we end up in the money. So guys, this is where I'm going to stop onto this trade. I don't want to keep trading. I've actually taken 5 trades and I lost 1. So I actually hope you understand how this works. The broker I'm using is called Pocket Option. If you haven't signed up yet, make sure that you use the link in the description to sign up. You're definitely going to have a demo account of $10,000 for free so that you can actually practice with. So anytime you want to deposit to start using a live account, I also have a 50% discount right there on the description. Make sure to use that to have a 50% bonus on your first deposit. Like I said, this strategy is a very powerful one. Make sure that you always put all the condition I laid down on this video in mind. Is very important. You're definitely going to find a lot of entering option with this particular strategy in a couple of minutes, but always make sure that you have filtered them out with the rule I laid down on this video. Make sure that the first candlestick you want to place the trade on, you actually study it. It must be a full body candlestick that generated a new one. And before you place the trade on the new one, you also need to study it by using your counter what's it called, fixtures right there.